Boom, what time is it?
It is week 8 in the league, JB, that we love. There's Jalen Hurts. He's the only quarterback this season averaging at least 250 yards passing and 45 yards rushing per game.
And there is Derek Carr on the road in New Orleans. Only 3 touchdown passes in the last 3 games, but he has a running back by the name of Josh Jacobs he can rely on.
Zach Wilson last 3 weeks, 3-0. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He may need more going against a Bill Belichick defense today.
Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins, completing 67% of his passes. He's a very good ball handler, accurate throwing the football, and man, does he get rid of it quick.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the NFL Today, presented by Ram Trucks. I'm James Brown. Good to be back in the hallowed halls of Studio 43 with my colleagues. Boomer bought me some corrective contacts, left them in my room there. Boomer Esiason, the former league MVP, the multi-talented, Emmy Award-winning Nate Burleson. And again, we always get reverential tones when we say the Hall of Fame coach Bill Cowher, and the 2-time Super Bowl champion, slip in an MVP there as well. That will be Phil Simms. All right, folks, week 8 brings a few fright fests, if you will, as some teams look to exercise their demons, especially with the trade deadline on the horizon. Your initial thoughts as week 8 continues.
Well, I want to talk about Lamar Jackson right here. You know, every time Lamar Jackson has a good game, everybody comes out and says, oh, he quieted his doubters. Nobody in the NFL, players or coaches, doubt Lamar Jackson, that's for sure. He runs a unique offense designed for his skills, sophisticated run game designed by Greg Roman. And remember this, when Lamar Jackson is a runner, he determines how much contact he wants to get, Nate. Everybody thinks he's going to get hurt. That's a safe place. And the last thing is, too, that contract, I like his chances.
No doubt about it. And we talked this weekend over the phone. He's also a cultural icon.
He is.
He's leading the way for this new generation. Listen, Tom Brady has been great for 20 years, but all good things come to an end. I think it's about that time. And I took some heat this week because I said he should have stayed retired. There's nothing wrong with that. We've been praising him forever, a couple of decades, in fact. But now we're seeing the struggles. He's never been an athlete at the quarterback position. He's even slower. Even that sixth sense that he used to play with, it just doesn't seem like it's there. So we will answer the question, is he washed or not, along with a few other quarterbacks, so stick around.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine when you look at Tom being that way, but you talk about a league of the unexpected. Who would have thought when you saw this, the New York Giants visiting Seattle, we're looking at 2 teams with maybe the midway point coach of the year, Brian Daboll, with what he's done with the 5-1 Giants. How about Pete Carroll? They trade Russell Wilson, 2 rookie tackles, rookie running back, and Geno Smith. And you talk about resurgence. Midway comeback players of the year, Saquon Barkley and Geno Smith. No one expected these 2 teams to have been in this position. That's the way the NFL has been this year.
You know, and along those lines, just think about this for a second. I think we all know which 5 or 6 teams are the best teams right now, as we said at the halfway point. But think about this. If the Carolina Panthers win at the Atlanta Falcons today, they will be in first place in the NFC South. That tells you all you need to know.
What you talking about, Boom?
The NFL. That's exactly right.
Wow.
You know, Lamar Jackson is simply, I love the cultural icon remark, but he's simply an out-of-the-box player. My goodness gracious, appreciate it. All right, folks, we have got a treat for you today in our featured matchup. The battle for Pennsylvania gets underway when Kenny Pickett leads the Steelers into Philly for a meeting with Jalen Hurts and the league's only unbeaten squad. That would be the Eagles.
Jalen Hurts has been lights out.
Hurts firing, touchdown!
Leading Philadelphia
6-0 Philadelphia Eagles
to a perfect start.
This defense gives a huge opportunity. Interception. The Eagles have it. That'll be the game. Let's go!
Big boys are now starting to impose their will.
And joining us now from the booth in Philly, where he will be calling today's game between the Steelers and the Eagles, that would be the talented one himself, Mr. Tony Romo. Hey, Tony, Jalen Hurts and this Eagles offense has been, if you will, with the British word that Sammy came up with, massively productive. What has impressed you the most about this unit?
Well, I think it's the efficiency. They're really good in a lot of areas. They're multiple. They're running RPO game at a very high level. They're getting numbers in the run game. They're creating the mismatches on the outside. And you got to give, Howie Roseman credit going out and getting Brown this offseason, drafting Smith. They're explosive, and yet they don't really have to be a lot because they run the football and they create the advantages up front. This is a really difficult team to go against just by the way that they align.
And as Bill Cowher continues to educate me, the scary thing is that Philadelphia may be more impressive on the other side of the ball. So what advice would you give a young quarterback like Kenny Pickett?
Get the ball out quickly. This team likes to rush 5 guys, and I think Jonathan Gannon's done an incredible job of, creating matchups for the guys up front, one-on-ones, and then on the back end still giving help. And you're seeing Slay and Bradbury make it very difficult on quarterbacks. Kenny Pickett is, off to a little rough start with the 7 interceptions, but I think he's better than what he's shown as far as statistically. And I think the Steelers have a way of showing up in games like this sometimes.
That they do. Hey, Tony, as always, thank you so much for the insight and knock 'em alive. Boom.
Yeah, we have an update from across the pond over at Wembley Stadium. Over on ESPN Plus, it's the Broncos and, of course, the Jaguars. This is going to be Melvin Gordon. He's going to take it out from 1 yard out. 14-10. The Broncos are over the Jags. The Jags are driving here late in the game in the fourth quarter to see if they can win this one.
All right, boom. And you know what? With Halloween on our minds, here are the headlines for Week 8. The AFC East has been chillingly good this season, most notably the 5-2 Jets, who today host their division rivals from New England. 2 squads who have been giving their fans nightmares try to get back on track when Derek Carr and the Raiders take on Andy Dalton and the Saints in the Big Easy. And with Ryan Tannehill on the sidelines, folks, it will be rookie Malik Willis and Derrick Henry looking to put the fear into the Texas D in Houston. Those tricks and more treats straight ahead on the NFL Today.
The NFL Today on CBS is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Jalen and I teamed up to bring back school sports for kids in Philly because I'm these kids' biggest fan. Go to missiontiger.com to see what happened.
And see that I'm their biggest fan.
No, I'm their biggest fan.
They signed my shirt.
Well, that's cheating. I don't even wear shirts. Everybody listen to this.
Streaming on Paramount Plus, of course.
Let's go.
We got
And he's got it.
This game is so special, so great. It's football season.
This is my type of party.
And there is James Robinson, folks, who was part of a big trade this week. With the absence of Breece Hall, the third-year back, will certainly be heaven sent for the Jets, who are signaling they are in a win-now mode. And for all the latest news and updates from around the league, we're joined now by our always on top of it NFL Today insider. That will be Jonathan Jones. And we know that the NFL trade deadline just around the corner, but as we've seen, some big moves already.
That's right. Robert Quinn going from Chicago to Philadelphia to the undefeated Eagles. Now, he's going to be thrown into the fire. He's going to be used situationally today. And the Rams, they were relieved. Why? Because they are in the edge rusher market, and they knew that the Eagles were top competition for the edge rusher. LA extremely interested in a pass rusher, maybe one that's playing in London right now, keeping a close eye on Bradley Chubb. A number of Broncos, by the way, could be up for grabs, including Jerry Jeudy. Meanwhile, the Chiefs traded for Kadarius Toney. They may not be done. They're in the market for an edge rusher as well.
So as we talk a little bit about the Colts right now, so they announced this week that Sam Ehlinger will take the reins as a starting quarterback for the remainder of the year. What about that move?
Yeah, that was very, very strongly owner motivated. Jim Irsay really sort of encouraged heavily Frank Reich to make that move. Players were shocked, and our seats getting warm. It depends on who you ask for Frank Reich and Chris Bauer, the general manager, who's yet to win the AFC South since becoming the general manager in 2017. No luck in the post-luck era, but the Colts only a half game out of first place. Also, it's unclear if Ryan is going to play again this year. A significant injury could guarantee more than $17 million in his contract next year.
So, JJ, the Patriots are gearing up to meet a familiar foe that For the most part, they have been dominating, but these aren't the same old Jets.
No, they are not. 12 straight wins for the Pats, but if you were picking them to make it 13, Robert Sala's keeping receipts. Mac Jones is getting the start, but don't expect a musical quarterback chairs game like we saw Monday night. James Robinson is active. He'll play a little bit. And speaking of that trade deadline, the Patriots could move offensive lineman as Isaiah Wynn, or they're getting a number of calls on receivers. Nelson Aguilar would be the top name.
As if he hasn't been sharp already. Now he's got that Phil Simms knot there in the tie.
He takes care of me.
Thank you so very much. No doubt about that. Hey, folks, it's been a little tricky for Bill Belichick and the Patriots this season as they find themselves at the bottom of the AFC East, haunted, if you will, by a surprisingly scary and competitive division.
Stephon Diggs, the hat trick. A standing ovation for the Buffalo Bills.
Throws to the end zone, and the ball is caught. That's a touchdown for Buffalo.
Razzle-dazzle from the Jets. He's in. That's a Jet touchdown.
The Jets will improve to 5-2 on the season. And look at him go! Jalen Waddle for the touchdown.
He's got him. Tyreek Hill. And the Dolphins have come back.
Rocky performance by the Patriots. Misery is going to continue. And it's a shocker here in Foxborough. All right, nobody expected this. Some sleepless nights here coming. You got a lot of work to do this week.
Well, you got to be a little surprised the fact that the Patriots are 3-4, but the quarterback situation they have up there, I think Jonathan Jones said it right. They'll be patient today with Mac Jones on the field. You know, when I saw him take the field Monday night against the Chicago Bears, I saw a quarterback that was anxious, nervous, hearing the crowd chant, Zappy. So what's he got to do today? Get out there, coaches, help him get off to a good start, get some confidence, and help him lead the team.
Phil, but my worry is that if he doesn't get off to a good start, does he feel Zappy pulling on the back of his jersey? I mean, it's not something that Bill Belichick is going in saying. Maybe he does want him to play for 4 quarters, but sometimes quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, can get in this league and feel the pressure of the backup right behind him.
I think it was very easy for Bill on that night because Mac was coming off an injury.
Right.
All of a sudden, he's not going well, and the crowd's calling Zappy. So
Right.
you can throw it back in. Right now, you got to be careful. Because right now, if you take him out right now, you may lose Mac Jones. And you know what you got in Mac Jones. Mac Jones took you to the playoffs a year ago. Bailey Zappi, you have a very small sample set. But y'all talk about another quarterback. I know he's winning, but there's still some questions about this New York Jet passing game, and that's Zach Wilson.
That's right, and there's no doubt he's the #1 guy. Now, remember, he's going to be losing 3 starters today. Corey Davis is out. Elijah Barrett-Tucker's out for the year. And, of course, the surprising Breece Hall, who's just been an awesome rookie this year. Now he's got to do this all himself. He's 4-0 in his last 4 starts. The one thing that he's not doing, he's not turning the ball over. He doesn't have any interceptions.
That's key.
That is key. So another team thick in the race in the AFC East is the Miami Dolphins.
Winning games, not turning it over. That sounds pretty good quarterback play. Tua Tagovailoa down in Miami, man, he's having a good year when he's in there because look what he has. Most receptions of 20-plus yards. He has the top 2 guys in the NFL. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Between them, they have 91 catches, 5 touchdowns, and that play-action fake, they're open over the middle. Look for that today.
Man, that play action and just picking his head up and dropping off those slant routes and glance routes. I think they are the best slant running route running team in the business. And when it comes to this offense, it is tailor-made for Tua.
Yep.
Nobody in this league can dominate the middle of the field like he does with these 2 pass catchers.
And you're talking about the Detroit Lions with Dan Campbell playing against his old team, the Miami Dolphins. DeAndre Swift, he is coming back for the first time since week 3. And for Jared Goff, all the losses they have, he's thrown the interception. The one game where he was interception-free, they won. It's going to be a lot of pressure on him right now to get that offense back on track.
Yeah.
But boom, how about the Raiders visiting the New Orleans Saints?
Well, how about Derek Carr? And what does he have a chance to accomplish today? Take a look at this, guys. It's all about yards through his career. There's our buddy Phil. He's got 33,462 yards. And listen, Derek is right on his tail, and he's probably going to pass you today. Phil will have a celebration of celebrating that. But I will say this about what's going on with the Raiders. It's about Josh Jacobs, their running game. You know, the last 3 games, he's averaging 140 yards and a touchdown. And on the other side, it is Andy Dalton for the Saints. He makes it interesting. There's balls are flying all over the place.
They are.
And they turn the ball over a lot. 16 giveaways by the Saints.
All right, NFL Slime Time is back on Nickelodeon. Tap in with me and Young Dylan and watch the highlights become Slime Lights. Catch NFL Slime Time every Wednesday night at 7 Eastern on Nickelodeon.
Still to come, the Halloween edition of the NFL Today. Several of the NFL's best quarterbacks have been ghosts of their former selves this season. Has time finally caught up to some of the game's greats? The Jets have been scary good over the last few weeks. And today, brothers Quinn and Quincy Williams fill us in on how Gang Green has turned things around. And speaking of scary, Kyle Brand visits a favorite haunt, while the guys reveal which teams would be the most frightening to face as the season rolls on. All that and more when the NFL Today returns.
Well, we are a day away from Halloween, and you can see the fans from around the league embracing the spirit, and so did our friend Kyle Brandt. Folks, he took a terrifying trip to a house of horrors.
You gotta love haunted houses, right? They're just like the NFL. They're exciting, they're unpredictable, and usually the scariest ones are in New England. But this year, is there really anything to be afraid of? You see? This is what I'm talking about. There's nothing to be afraid of here. This is just death by Devontae. Now this is perfect, because vampires don't have a reflection in a mirror, and some Packers refuse to even look into one. Let's keep moving. Oh, man, I don't know. It's a long, lonely hallway that's all dark, and even the fans are exhausted. I kind of feel like I'm walking through the Cleveland Browns season. I don't want to do that. Let's see if, I don't know, maybe we can find something fun. Whoa, yeah! Now this is what I'm talking about. You want scary. How about a star quarterback whose entire pregame playlist is songs by Train? And even better, this guy's driving a train. Captain Fanny Pack here is going to win 13 games this season. That's scary and hilarious. See you later, buddy. Uh-oh. It's the book room. Kids, there's nothing scary about books. Trust me. Look at this. This is The Hobbit. This is The Tale of Kyler Murray. This is Great Expectations, how I picked Russell Wilson to win the Super Bowl and learn to still love myself. The Nate Burleson story.
Boo.
Hey, Coach. I think you wrote this one. It's called Master and Commander. You're the master, and next year Mac Jones will be a commander. You know what? I need a drink. Here you go, Coach. Oh, yeah, I know how this goes. You say Andy Reid's name 3 times, and he appears behind you in the mirror. Let's find out. Andy Man, Andy Man, Andy Man. Oh, that was cool. What's up, Big Red? All right, what's next? Oh, cute. A fortune teller. All right, why not? Ah, ma'am, give me something scary. What do you see in the future? Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
I see a team returning after a long time. I see stars. I see blue.
It's the Bills. I told you it was the Bills. It's the Bills.
I see the Cowboys.
No! The prophecy is true! No! Nate. You love scary stuff? You always wish that you were a cowboy. You tell me, could the prophecy be true?
Kyle, relax. That was a real house of horrors. But the prophecy is not true. Not at all, JB.
Loud and clear. All right, folks, let my guys continue to get, if you will, into the Halloween spirit with teams like the Eagles, Bills, and Chiefs showing their teeth. What's the one other squad that scares you?
All right, so a scary team I don't believe we all expected to be this good. You talked about it a little bit earlier, Coach, the Seattle Seahawks. For me, this is a team that is getting scarier by the week, and Geno Smith is the main reason for that. And listen, let's give him credit. Geno Smith has been criticized. He has been lit up and made fun of throughout his career, and right now he's balling. We're talking 3rd passer rating. He has the highest completion percentage in the league right now, and Geno Smith said, they wrote me off, but I didn't write back. And right now, he's balling out.
Yeah, he's playing really well. The team that I say is very scary. I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm disagreeing with you. I'm the fortune teller lady, whatever. I agree with her. It's the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're one of the 4 best teams in the NFL. Dak got his feet on the ground last week, against the who'd they play last week? Forgot. Well, it doesn't matter. But it got him a good start, got back in the rhythm of it, everything. They're running the football 28 times a game. And you got to admit, Mike McCarthy is managing games very well.
Yeah, for me, guys, I'm going to beat a dead horse because I've been doing it all year long, and that is the San Francisco 49ers. I still say defense is what travels in the NFL, and most likely they're going to have to travel because they're not going to have the best record in the NFC. But they could still easily win the NFC West. They added Christian McCaffrey. They do have one of the best defensive lines when they're all healthy.
Yeah.
And Jimmy G has already shown that he can take a team to the Super Bowl. I still think that they are going to be a really tough out because of that defense.
And the fortune teller was right, because there will be a team that will return, but it's called the Baltimore Ravens. I'll tell you why. The scariest man out there right now is Lamar Jackson. You talk about a man with a purpose. He's 3rd with 15 touchdown throwing. He's 4th in the National Football League in rushing. And oh yeah, this defense is 1st in the National Football League in takeaways. And on top of all that, they got the easiest schedule left to play. The Baltimore Ravens, to me, they've been in every football game, and they could be there when the last man is standing.
Just so you wouldn't think that we will leave Phil hanging, Coach did try to whisper over me, the Bears. But hey, let me also give some credit to one by the name of the head coach there in Seattle.
Yeah, Pete Carroll.
Recognize that. Pete Carroll, no question about it. All right, folks, with kickoff just about a half hour away, it's time to set the scene at your game as we take you out the first on the field, presented by Burger King. For the latest news and updates on your matchup. Thank you, because it's that quick. All right, coming up later today, folks, it's a clash between division rivals when King Derrick Henry leads the Titans into Houston for battle with the Texans. That's coming up at 4 Eastern right here on CBS.
You know, guys, the Titans have a heck of a chance to go and take and just run away with this division now all of a sudden. Malik Willis is going to start for them today. We know that. But with Jacksonville most likely losing to Denver over in London and with all the changes going on in Indianapolis, this is their division to lose. And I don't expect them to lose today in Houston. I would think that Mike Vrabel is going to protect Malik Willis. I'm sure they'll use him on the ground quite a bit as the young quarterback's going to be a little bit nervous. But I think this is a game where they should come out of this and they should be feeling really good about it and getting to 5-2.
Yeah, you're right about that. I was talking with Todd Downing, the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans earlier this morning. He said Malik is gifted with a feel for the game, off the charts athletic ability, but instincts and off-schedule ability can't thrive if they are being choked out by predetermination or trying to be too perfect.
Right.
So I'm glad he said that to me this morning because I was trying to get a feel for how Malik Willis is feeling and how they're going to let him play. I think they'll allow him to let loose a little bit, and we'll see him make some off-schedule plays.
And we'll see what Lovie Smith, who's the head coach of the Houston Texans, and he's a defensive coordinator. He's got a rookie quarterback, so he's going to throw some things at him. But yet for them, it's Davis Mills, and Davis Mills throws a great deep ball. It's just his decision-making at times, and when he does that, Phil, and Dameon Pierce is a very good running back that they can lean on.
Dameon Pierce, a 4th-round draft pick. He's a franchise running back. Davis Mills, can we find out, is he the guy for the future? He plays really well, but then he makes that big mistake at the end. He is a second-year quarterback. And they've done a good job rebuilding their roster. We'll see how
they really have.
Yeah, you're right about that. All right. You know how a sauce is good? You know it's good when you can put it on everything, Coach. And you can put him on anybody. He leads the NFL in pass breakups. This young cornerback is one of the best in the business.
Time now for pregame HQ delivered by Domino's. Brothers and defensive anchors Quincy and Quentin Williams. Hey, folks, they've helped the Jets to a fiery 5-2 start. Earlier this week, our NFL Today cameras went behind the scenes with the Williams brothers, who sat down for a little brotherly Q&A.
Hi, I'm Quincy Williams, and I'm with NFL Today.
Hi, I'm Quentin Williams, and I'm with NFL Today, and I'm here to interview my brother.
Hold on, I thought I was interviewing you.
No, I'm interviewing you. I'm the biggest.
All right, here we go.
Quincy Williams, how good has this kid been for the Jets?
Quentin Williams has been that guy. He's grade A, certificate premium.
Here comes the blitz. Boom! Quincy Williams got there. What a sack! It's Quentin Williams!
Yes, sir, the Q-man.
We got a a question for you. What do you think I do best on the field as a player?
I think it'd be easier what you don't do best. So let's see. Best on the field would probably have to be dominating the one-on-ones in front of you. My favorite part is on third down in coverage. I know I ain't got to cover long because I know for a fact you finna get the sack. And I just got to do 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi in my head, and I know you got the sack. What do you think I do best on the field as a player?
I think the biggest thing you do best is hit. I think your hitting is like one of a kind. It's always electric and not just like a regular tackle.
Quincy Williams, aggressive hitter.
Every time you see number 56 Quincy Williams going to tackle somebody, it's going to be like one of those inspirational moments that you see. So I got a question. What is it like to hear the phrase, same old Jets?
When I first heard about it, the first thing that came to my mind was losing and stuff like that. But now we've been playing complementary football, offense, defense, and special teams. And people on the outside looking in, they see that it's not the same old Jets. What is the difference about the team this year versus last year?
I think the biggest difference about the team from this year and last year, just the camaraderie that we have. A lot of new guys, and also the rookies that came in is unbelievable.
Broken up, Sauce. Got a hand on it.
Unbelievable, the fight in this young team.
I feel like everybody feeds off each other, everybody love each other, everybody try to make sure each other is successful and help each other out any way we can. So, how dope is these black helmets this week?
Ooh, I love the black helmets. Like that matte finish. Wish we gonna wear year round.
I wish we wear every game.
For real, for real.
But like some games on, some games off, they'll be super nice.
Yeah, I love it though. He put me in like the Venom type mindset.
That's what I thought about too. Like I love the movie Venom. So
yeah,
that black helmet, black uniforms, it's gonna be dope. Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Gotta start with the fade first.
Doing the best I can.
I got the details I need though.
I got the waves on there though.
Yeah, I got the waves on there.
Hey Quincy, thanks.
Hey, back to JB and the guys in the studio.
The details are just...
Yeah, you know what? First of all, big thanks to our NFL Today correspondents. But Quincy, I mean, he had a stick man. Quentin had the details.
Yeah, but Quincy, you know what? He wanted to make sure he got everything involved because that's what those two guys up front. You're talking about Quentin Williams and Rankins. Those guys keep Quincy clean, and he's able to work downhill with C.J. Mosley. So they're great at the first level of linemen, second level linebackers. But we was talking about Sauce Gardner, but there's another element of that back end, Phil, that they're pretty good at.
They're pretty good, but you know, first and foremost, I want to see the grocery bill when these people are throwing up. Man, but Robert Saleh, what a good job he's done with Joe Douglas, the general manager, of fixing the Jets defense, which you said it, Bill. They're good up front. They got a good linebacking core, and their safeties, LaMarcus Joyner, the ultimate center fielder, and then Jordan Whitehead, the guy that likes to play near the line of scrimmage, close to 40 tackles, the enforcer. Really good job by Robert Saleh and the group building this defense.
No doubt about that. All right, folks, so Halloween is indeed that time of the year where you expect to be spooked, but for a few teams, maybe the most frightening revelation is that their established star veteran quarterbacks just may be washed.
It's been a red zone nightmare all season.
Just not getting the ball in.
Could it be age?
Turnover on down is intercepted.
Rodgers.
Intercepted.
Right now, it's time for
I think I'm the right person for the job.
Wilson throws into the end zone, and it's intercepted. I don't know what Russ was looking at
This
there.
crowd is becoming restless. Ryan
Intercepted again. His 9th interception.
interceptions.
We are going to elevate Sam to be the starting quarterback. That's the best decision for our team going forward.
So as you look at that title, JB's Laundromat, all four of my guys are moguls. Bill Cowher says, JB, get in the laundromat business. So that's what I'm doing. Here's the way this is going to work. I'm going to reach into this washing machine. I'm going to pull out a jersey with a name on it, and these guys will tell me whether or not that quarterback, Nate, you don't say washed up?
Nah, you just say washed.
Okay, hey, you got the... All right, here we go. Phil's first. So the first jersey we pull out is that of...
Wow.
Russell Wilson.
Oh, you're tricking me, big man.
Hey, you told me.
I'm just glad you're in a better mood and you were in that cooking session last week, that's for sure. Russell Wilson is not washed up. He still has plenty of good football in him. They got to coordinate this offense to help him out a little more, get him away from the line of scrimmage so he can move around, and so also he can see down the field and pick out these receivers.
So all you're saying is probably just one more cycle, he'll be okay.
Bill,
listen to you.
Speaking of
No,
Bill,
wait,
okay,
when's the last time you ever did laundry?
Long-sided here. And here we go. The next jersey is that of one Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, you know what? This looks good. I think it's just a little faded. Is all I would say about this. I think he's fine. It's a little faded right now, but I don't think he's washed up at all. I think you don't want to put it back in, JB.
Okay.
I think from here on out, it's hand wash. I wouldn't use the washing machine anymore.
Okay.
No, so I think
hand wash.
I think he's just fine. It's just a little faded.
Okay. Sounds like a delicate wash cycle, if you ask me. All right, now we reach in for Nate Burleson, and the quarterback is Phil Simms.
That's what he washed up.
It's Phil Simms washed.
No, this
Is Phil Simms washed?
Yes.
You know what? No, my guy's not washed. Now, listen, just like the washing machine, he may be a little bit bulky and heavy at times and a little bit delicate when we talk about him. My guy is not washed.
Hey, anyway,
That's a rinse and repeat right there, man.
You cannot hurt my feelings.
Hold on.
So
We
don't-
got to give Nate one other because that was about his colleague, and this is Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan, is he washed?
Unfortunately, I would have to say yes. I mean, he's never been a speedster or an athletic quarterback, and he's moving around even slower in the pocket. But here's the thing, though. A couple of weeks ago, they beat the Jags. He threw the ball 58 times, 42 for 58, 3 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So I want to hold on to the fact that he still has it, but at this age, I don't think he does.
You know, our former colleague, Tony Gonzalez, he still loves him. No question.
Yes, of course he
All right, boom, boom. This is for you.
Man.
This one is Aaron Rodgers.
You know,
Boomer, anxious to hear
this thing has been on the spin cycle for the last 6 weeks. It's all about somebody else. It's not about him, really. They need to get him some wide receivers, and they better get him before November 1st. That's the trading deadline, guys. If not, this guy's going to be pretty nasty. By the way, there are a couple bleach spots on this right now.
Okay.
And I would just say a little rinse and repeat.
Well, you know what, though, Broom? Put some detergent in next time. Give him some receivers.
maybe,
That's some detergent.
Hey, our guy Phil never lies.
Yes.
Let's give him the last jersey. What about this one?
That's
Is
pretty jersey.
This is Boomer Esiason.
What do you have
Is he washed up?
Look at the smile on his face.
No, you know, Boomer, wow, this jersey will fit you. Got some good size, you know.
Hey, by the way, I love it. Nate Burleson said he owns a laundromat. For same-day service, he says, do it yourself.
Oh, my God. All you guys, rinse cycle, this, that. What are y'all talking about?
Yeah, speaking of doing it yourself, that's what Jalen Hurts has been doing all season long. He is not washed. Second in the NFL in rush TDs. Let me remind you, my man is a quarterback.
The NFL Today is sponsored by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Buy a box, support school sports. FanDuel, make every moment more. And by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
This week, in an effort to increase participation in youth football, the Eagles hosted the Mobile Junior Pro Clinic, which is an introductory football camp for students in elementary and middle school. Well, Jalen Hurts and the Eagles are one of the many reasons why it's so good to be a Philadelphia sports fan, Christian Bruce. Right now, check this out. The city used to pray for times like this, and now a certain icon implores Philly to embrace the spirit.
Yo, America, what a time to be a fan in the city of brotherly love. It's a place that has always been hungry for winners. Believe me, I know. And this year, it's all coming together.
You see that catch?
The undefeated Eagles, They've been flying high all season with an offense that truly hurts the competition. Not to mention the hard-hitting defense that embodies what this city is all about.
And the Eagles will remain the only undefeated team in the National Football League.
And how about the Phils? Under 500 in June, World Series bound in October. That's Philly for you. You get knocked down, you get right back up. And that's what these teams are all about. Grit, determination, and a burning desire to win.
Let's go!
I can't sing and I can't dance, but these guys can. One game at a time, one series at a time, one championship at a time. So ring the bell. Show your love. This is our year, and keep punching.
Okay, Sly, we appreciate you. From one Philly legend talking about some maybe legends in the making, JB.
And speaking of Sly, a very special thanks to Sylvester, of course, for sure. That would be Mr. Stallone. But in terms of what you guys saw, did you appreciate what you were seeing there?
Of course, definitely. It's Sly Stallone.
All right, no question about it then. So, and again, a very special thanks. By the way, he's got a special series coming out called Tulsa King, streaming November 13th, exclusively on Paramount+. Well, you know what? The city of brotherly love is riding high right now. And with kickoff just a few minutes away, the question is, do you expect that to continue against the Steelers, Phil?
Yes, I do. First off, Sylvester looks like he could play for the Philadelphia Eagles. That's one thing. But when you watch this Eagles offense, it is confusing. It's movement, deception, tons of talent. Who's got the football? The running back? No, Micah Parsons. What are they going to do, take the quarterback? And as he comes forward and we see the pick down the field by Devontae Smith, Micah Parsons, whatever you guess, you're going to be wrong because they give you so many looks that are same and run so many different plays. This time, Jalen Hurts keeps it. We get the so-called pick down the field. The defense reacts up, almost the same look that you see many times in the game, and Jalen Hurts throws for an easy touchdown. That's what I love about this offense, Bill. One play leads into the next. That's why it's really hard on defense.
And the defense is pretty special. And they just even got better because they just picked up Robert Quinn in the trade. Robert Quinn a year ago, he had 18.5 sacks. And what that allows them to do is have a fresh rotation up front. Back end, Darius Slay and Bradbury are very good. And you look at this team, 14 takeaways and only 2 interceptions or 2 giveaways, plus 12. Unbelievable. They're not beating themselves. And that defense is very, very good.
When it comes to the Steelers, more specifically that offense, I just want to see them push the ball downfield. Chase Claypool came out and said, we need more go balls, not enough go balls. I'm not saying that it's on the play calling. I'm just saying we need to find a way to scheme it up. So that's saying it without saying it. And that guy right there, Pickens, needs more opportunities with the 50-50 ball.
Well, you know, Nate, the Steelers get behind early in games. They're down 30-3 in the last 3 games, and Kenny Pickett's making his 4th start. He's thrown 7 interceptions, as Tony pointed out earlier in the show. The other thing about the Steelers offense, only 15.3 average points per game. The last time it was that low, it was when Terry Bradshaw was a rookie quarterback back in 1970 because he doesn't have the running game and the defense that they had when Ben Roethlisberger took over for you, Coach. Just final, you're going to see K'Wan Williams come up with the interception on Trevor Lawrence. And that's right, Russell Wilson led his Denver Broncos back to a win over in London at Wembley Stadium over on ESPN+. Broncos win 21-17, guys.
All right, Bruno. So now time for our NFL Today picks, upset specials for Week 8, starting with Phil.
Giants over the Seattle Seahawks, 27-20.
Detroit Lions, 21, and the Miami Dolphins, 17.
I have Rams over the Niners, 28-24.
You know, I will take the Commanders over the Colts, 24-20.
Wow, with the Commanders. Okay. Hey, folks, for those of you getting the 4 o'clock game, we'll be right back after a short break. But for those of you with kickoff just a few minutes away,
listen, keep your butt on your couch and keep it on CBS.
Wow.
Because we got some great games for you. We are going to get you out to your game next.
When you buy a box of Kellogg's Frosted Flakes, you can support my mission. Yes, Jalen. Well said.
The NFL Today on CBS is powered by Ram Trucks, built to serve.
Coming up at 4 Eastern, two AFC South rivals go head-to-head. That's when the Houston Texans play host to King Derrick Henry and the Titans. Again, that's coming up at 4 Eastern right here on CBS. And time now for a game day delivery presented by Amazon. We go to our guy, Phil Simms, and ask you, what should we expect?
Oh, wow. Well, you look at this game, first off, I can't wait to see what they do with Malik Willis on the offensive side. Watched him during preseason. They gave him tons of snap. Mike Vrabel was really tough on him, making sure that he's trying to read down the field what to do instead of taking off and running all the time. First career start, third-round draft picks, surprised a lot of people. And he was responsible, 74 touchdowns in 2 seasons at Liberty. So, man, he was all over the place. He was excitement in the preseason. But the good thing for him, remember he played against Buffalo a little bit at the end of the game? That was probably the best thing that happened because that's totally different from preseason.
And I'm not going to say this, but I'm going to say one man's misfortune is another man's opportunity. Right. You think about this Tennessee offense, where they were a year ago. Ryan Tannehill, he took them to as far as they went, losing to the Cincinnati Bengals in the playoffs. The question was, is that where you're going to go with him? Is Malik Willis opportunity right now? He fits this running game a little bit more. He's more an edge guy that can get out there and run. A little bit like Lamar Jackson from the standpoint of his running ability and what he can present as a threat. Could he be a better fit in this offense than Ryan Tannehill? And again, let's see what they do with him today. Not trying to throw Ryan Tannehill under the bus.
Of course not.
It's kind of like I watched him in the preseason. I was excited about Malik Willis. Because I saw Ryan, I saw Mike Vrabel coach him hard. He pulled him one time because he started to run first instead of throwing and thinking throw first. So you know what? Malik Willis, take advantage of this opportunity, and let's see if you can maybe take this offense to another level.
Yeah, it's okay to say it. We've had our moments where we praise Ryan Tannehill. He's earned his right to be a starter in this league. Once again, after leaving Miami, he also earned a big contract. But there's that question. Is there a ceiling on what he can do for a certain team? And right now, the Tennessee Titans they have to answer that question. Now, Malik Willis, after talking to Todd Downing, the offensive coordinator this morning, he said he does have that instinct. He does have the athletic ability, but don't force either. If he goes out there and tries to do too much, then we'll be in trouble. He said, lean and rely on your running back. Derrick Henry is a monster. And you know how as players, we circle somebody on the calendar? Derrick Henry always circles the Texans.
Yes, he does.
3 games against the Texans, over 200 yards each rushing. So they will have a heavy dose of King Henry.
Derrick Henry owns the AFC South, and right now the Titans own the AFC South. It's interesting that they're going in with their backup quarterback because when you take a look at this, Jacksonville lost over at London this morning. Indianapolis is going through their own quarterback problems. And then on top of that, Houston's in a rebuilding year. So this should be an opportunity now for Mike Vrabel to make sure that his team understands, guys, all right, we got our backup quarterback playing. We all got to raise our level of play, support the young man, play tough defense, give the ball to Derrick Henry, and you watch. The Titans at the end of the year will be in the playoffs because this division is in a total state of flux right now.
And while I would certainly expect you guys to be talking about the assets that Malik Willis brings to the table, the one thing I'll add is he really is a high character guy. So you pull for somebody like that. Coach, can you start us off? Boomer was teasing on this. The AFC South in general, talk about the division.
Well, he talked about the quandary that the division is. It starts right there with the Indianapolis Colts with what they did with Matt Ryan. I mean, Matt Ryan was benched. He was brought in here to be the kind of savior. They've been looking for that quarterback, the next quarterback. But here's what happened last week. Look at this interception, a game that was tight. It was a late throw. And then this one right here, to me, that's the one that's careless right there with the football. I mean, you talk about Matt Ryan, he's first in interceptions, second in sacks, and first with most fumbles. So maybe it is time to move on from him. I'm not so sure I would have said, okay, the rest of the year. But I said, right now, I can see going to the next guy, and that's now Edinger, and see what he can do with it.
Yeah, and if the owner would have told you it's going to be the end of the year for him, you'd say, okay, if you want to keep your own job. Because, I think we all feel like Jim Irsay has made this move out there. And as much as, you would appreciate a veteran quarterback, I would appreciate a veteran quarterback. When that veteran quarterback, Nate, is turning the ball over the way Matt Ryan was, something has to give.
Yeah, and speaking of turning the ball over, a young quarterback also in this division. We look at Trevor Lawrence, who they had the lead all game, and he just has these moments where we pat him on the back, and then we scratch our heads at the same time.
Well, one thing we do know, Mike Vrabel knows what he wants and who he is and what this team is about. And he keeps giving it to Derrick Henry because that's who they are. Derrick Henry just gets better the more he carries it.
Which is amazing. That'll do it. We'll see you back at 4 Eastern.